Hello, this is Dr. J. Just had some thoughts I was sharing with my team this morning on perfection, and Allie suggested, why don't you share that with the world? So just out run a couple errands here early this morning, a little scruffy, but figured I'd share some thoughts on perfection. And what do? We strive for perfection. We strive to have everything perfectly lined up and just to perfect everything, and let me make sure I get it all straight away and everything is running smoothly. But why are we striving for perfection? I see this especially in the chronic illness world, that those that are struggling with Lyme disease, autoimmune, massive energy fatigue, if you were to stereotype them and look at personalities, oftentimes you'd find type A. Everything's got to line up, got to get it done, very much just wanting to control everything. And I often wonder, well, is the point of why somebody's not feeling well to get them to re-explore that just in themselves, to be more at peace with letting things go? But coming back to this idea of perfection, I always joke, paralysis by analysis. We want to wait. If we truly actually wanted to create perfection, then the number one thing to do immediately is to create action. Immediately. Action. This idea that, well, let me make sure I'll give you an example. Creating a video like this. I would probably never put content out if I was waiting to perfect it, basically. And if I don't put content out, then I actually don't get better at communicating or putting content out. Meaning if my goal was to, I'm going to perfect and get all this amazing content out, well, then how you do that is by putting content out, right? You put it into practice. So if your goal is you want to become a famous writer, you don't just work on one manuscript for your whole life. What you do is you put out manuscripts and books, and you get feedback, and you quote unquote improve upon that. So perfection, if you're actually going for perfection, that immediately leads you into action if you really analyze it or look at it properly. So think perfection, think action. However, if you were to actually hit perfection, what does that mean? Everything we're doing, we're striving for perfection. But if we actually hit perfection, what does that mean? Where are we at? We are at the pinnacle. We are at the peak. What is the only direction that you can go once you've reached perfection? It's going down. It's going down. And think about that. Let that process. Okay, Dr. J, I'm striving for perfection. Okay, now you hit it. Now how does life look? Well, it's going to look pretty not good, because the only direction you could move from perfection is going down. So, as I thought about that this morning, figured I'd share it with my team. Allie on my team recommended I share it with the world. But it does take things in perspective of what is your end goal? What are you striving for? And there's one thing I've learned along this journey so far. Well, multiple things. A couple things that I'll share though. First one is I believe we're here on this planet, on this earth, to experience it. And this ties right into the second piece. It's not about getting to the destination. It is falling in love with the journey. It is falling in love with the process. Fall in love with the journey. Fall in love with the process. Have an amazing rest of your day. This is Dr. J. Davidson.